Good morning, or almost afternoon for some of you. Thank you for joining the National Society of Cosmetic Chemists NextGen Career Development Day. That's a mouthful. I'm Jacqueline Hoffelt, the chair of the NextGen Advisory Group. The purpose of NextGen Advisory Group is to assist with strategic development to increase program visibility, engagement, and impact of our programs to next generation of cosmetic chemists. Our efforts are currently focused on social media, outreach, education, and career development for student, junior, and early careerist general members. Please be sure to follow SCC NextGen on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Our first presentation is Level Up with Your LinkedIn Profile by Abbe Rosenthal from Rutgers University.
All right. So hello, everyone. I appreciate you joining this morning. Welcome. We are going to focus on how to really, bring your LinkedIn profile to another level, really for networking, job seeking, and building your own community, your network. It's a great foundation also for future job seeking to already have connections. But I am going to walk through some things for you. So first of all, my name is Abbe Rosenthal. I'm an assistant director and executive coach for Rutgers Master of Business and Science degree program, which has a concentration in personal care science. So it's a hybrid between an MBA and an MS, but I'm not here to talk about that right now. So let's put this out here, right? Let's see. So I have to do this, right? See, this happened last year. Right? So there we go. Every presentation I do, I like to have learning objectives. So first of all, it is if you do not really have much of a LinkedIn profile, it's an opportunity to design or redesign your LinkedIn profile. You're definitely going to take some tips away from today to increase visibility, because that's really important. You want to be visible to people, whether they're hiring leaders, whether they're recruiters, just to build that network. It's an opportunity to explore ideas for improving marketability. How am I going to market myself, right? And today you're going to commit, I'm hoping, to a call to action, which we call a start, stop, continue, which I'll get into later. So what do we need today? I always love this picture. What do we need today? We need our curiosity. You want to say, okay, so what else am I going to, what am I going to take today that can really add value for my career, right? From a LinkedIn profile perspective. So I want you to think about what you want to be professionally known for. And I know that's tough because originally people think about a title or a position, but we're not doing a title or position. You don't want to be known for a title or a position. You want to be known for the knowledge and expertise that you bring to your field. You want to be credible. You want to build your reputation. You also might want to have impact on others, right? Your community, the industry that you're working in. Some people talk about having an impact on the world. So it's really important when you think about, I want to build my LinkedIn profile, what you want to be professionally known for. And we're going to lead into a few things that focus on that. So today we're going to look at your photo, your headline, the summary, your experience portion. These are all portions on your LinkedIn, connections and networking, which is really important, and then how you can add value. So the photo. All right, I always just like to get a few laughs on this, and we do have the big screens to take a look at the pictures, so they'll look pretty big. So there's the Act Natural. There's the adrenaline junkies that you see with headshots, right? Those are the ones with sports. They're the Captain TEDxers, which if I get a really good picture today, I may become a Captain TEDxer, right? There are the digital gurus that we'll see sometimes. They're cartoon characters for those techies. There's the Dr. Doolittles, right? The people with their horse, their cat, their dog. You get the Globetrotters, somebody next to where they're traveling. You see a lot of these. The hyenas, LinkedIn, I work very closely with LinkedIn, and they sent me these hyena pictures. And I have to tell you, I only see one hyena in the group that he's laughing really hard. Two of them aren't even smiling. So I think they need to update their hyenas. The I'm sexy posers, which we have seen some, even in the beauty industry, I've seen a little bit of the borderline. And the stiffs, I always tend to fit into the stiffs, I have to tell you, right? So and she's not here, which is okay, one of our personal care science alumna, but it isn't Facebook, right? It's not Instagram. This isn't Snapchat, right? This is to brand you, going back to what do you want to be professionally known for? So you always want to go into choosing your photo very carefully, strategically, that it's professional career branding, right? So here's some facts from LinkedIn. Profiles that are complete with a headshot are more likely to show up higher in the search results. So if you have a recruiter looking for chemists and New Jersey, you may be pulled up. We'll talk about, but this is on photo. That's also your headshot. But the ones that are complete gives you an advantage than over the ones that are incomplete. If you don't have a photo, it's incomplete. So just so you know that, you won't show up as often in search results with no photo. Okay, so that's really important. So profiles with photos have a 40% higher click rate. So just think about that. You want to definitely, choose correctly which photo. I'm going to show Vanessa here. And I know Erica isn't here and she's going to say, I remember Vanessa. Vanessa was an undergrad at Rutgers, and Matt allows me to do it. Matt actually, he concentrated, I think, in urban environmental studies in our program. But he fell into the stiffs, but I think, which is perfectly professional, but Vanessa's is too. So you don't have to go out and get it professionally done. You can be outside. Just remember, how do I want to be professionally viewed? How do I want to brand? So the next piece that I want to focus on is the headline. Headline is really important, okay? So it's one of the first things that searchers observe at the top of your profile. You pop up. And you want that to capture. It introduces you, which people don't realize, depending on what you put as your headline, into news feeds. Really important. Hi, Gabriella. So I think that's Gabriella. The artificial intelligence puts you into people you may know section. So if they find somebody else and your headline aligns, you'll pop up on the right-hand side as other, and recruiters love that. They love to have a group of people show up in LinkedIn under people you may know, because you're going to be similar to some of the other, whether it's chemists, whether you say R&D, whether you say cosmetics marketing, whatever you choose, you show up in other people's, on other people's profiles. Just keep going. Increases profile exposure, right? That's what I had just said to recruiters and hiring leaders. It makes it easier to find you. So what are some of the keywords that are essential? We're going to start with the don'ts. So I'm just going to recommend, whether you're undergrads here, whether you're job seeking and not in a degree program, or you're a master's student, you don't want to put unemployed or seeking job or seeking employment or internship, or even current chemistry student. That's not going to, the recruiters don't search, according to LinkedIn, do not search out candidates in that way. So what are we recommending? What does LinkedIn recommend? Cosmetic chemist. Now, I did include some other Rutgers titles here, so we're going to focus more on the others. R&D, space/space, regulatory, space/space, product development. And why am I saying that? Because if you don't space it, it comes in as one word. And a recruiter is not going to find you that way. So I'm just giving you a little bit of hints that the AI looks for so that they can find you, bringing a lot of traffic to your profile page. You want that, right? It could be, I'll go to the last one. And again, think about your destination. I want to be in product design, or maybe, again, in digital marketing or social media. Maybe you want to be in beauty, but you want to lean more towards product design or marketing. Again, it's the space/space. So keep in mind when you create your headline, it's keeping the destination in mind. Where do I want to go? Because that's how they're going to find you. I want to be a cosmetic chemist. I want to be a beauty care marketing specialist or expert. You can do space/space seeking employment, or current chemistry student or biology student or chemical engineering student. But make sure you list your destination. The headline is the way they're going to find you. Okay, so your summary portion is your short story. It's your elevator pitch, right? So here are a couple tips. 40 to 100 words tops. After 100 words, people stop reading. So it's really important you craft it carefully. So you want to throw in your soft and technical skills in the summary. What are my strengths, right? What are some areas of specialty? In addition, you can include your education, which is at the bottom. So if you want to, on LinkedIn in your profile, the education is going to be at the bottom. So part of what you don't want to repeat it, but you can add some coursework. In ours, it's like fundamentals of personal care science, formulations and product development, fragrance applications, dermaceutics, whatever it is. Keep it at the top under summary, or what you've taken as undergrads that apply to your destination, right? I think there was one more bullet, but yeah. And also in your summary, your desired role. So instead of putting it under your headline, why not start or end with seeking positions in? And if you don't know where you want to go, you're kind of like, well, maybe I want to be in the lab, maybe I want product development, maybe I'd be open to marketing, list it. Open to opportunities in, right? Why not list it? You don't have to be so focused on your LinkedIn. You can absolutely open it up because you'll get calls or emails for various types of roles, particularly if you have the right headline. Under experience, again, just recognize I'm using some of the Rutgers pieces as examples, but it does not have to be Rutgers. So this is a LinkedIn fact. Listing your experience increases profile views. If you don't list, or you just list, your education and you just threw it up there to be on LinkedIn, it does not bring a lot of traffic to your profile. So just remember, under experience, that can include any co-ops, any internships, full-time or part-time, right? You have been a tutor, right? Maybe you've been a teaching assistant, a grader, paid or unpaid, doesn't matter. You want to list that as experience. Your academic projects, right? It could be some research that you worked on for a class. If you had a practicum, in our program, we have a practicum, but not for personal care science. But as a class, it's something maybe at the center or an institute. At Rutgers, we have the Center for Dermal Research, and a lot of our students will do a project over there. So they end up putting it on their resume. Or you did work for a professor at your university in the past. Also, volunteerism, really important. It shows your personal values, any of your transferable skills, like, again, from an association like the SEC or the NYSCC or the Southwest SEC, wherever you're, the Long Island SEC. Anything that you're a part of, put on your LinkedIn under experience. And always highlight in the bullets, if you have work, the skills that could align, the transferable skills, right? Because even if you worked in a restaurant, there are transferable skills there, right? From a customer service perspective, you may be problem solving. And there are many other, you're multitasking, you're strong in teamwork. All of those experiences do transfer, but you want to make sure it aligns with your destination job, right? What else did I have on there? Yeah, your soft and your technical. So now we're in the building connections perspective. There are 3 ways to build your connections, right? Start with level 1. It's the people that you know. To start building your community, look at your friends and family, connect with all of them, because some of them may be connected to people in industry that you want to work for, right? You never know that. Also your workmates, whether it has been, again, I always say this, at a restaurant or a retail store or wherever you're working, connect with them. You don't know if they're one step removed from another person working in the industry that you want to work in. Level 2 is schoolmates. So undergraduate, if you're an undergraduate, always look for connections at companies that went to your undergraduate school. Same with graduate. You want to connect with classmates in your program, but also outside your program. So we have somebody who graduated in drug discovery. He got a job as the head of analytics for Bentley Labs, which is a personal care company. So the point is, connecting with him, he ends up sending your resume over to the hiring leader or to the recruiter, and you don't have to worry about the AI in, the ATS, the applicant tracking system, because they rule out if your resume doesn't align with the words, right? I think we all know that. That's why JobScan is a great tool. Your third level is the connections of connections, which is what I talked about earlier, right? Looking at target companies. Here are my top 50 companies that I really like to work for. Some are startups, some are mid-sized, some are really big. So who do I know that might know? So let's look at the connections of connections. So once you connect with them, take a look at their connections. It's a great way to expand. And I always look to see, how can I connect with them? Maybe it's they're focused on talent. Maybe they're focused on cosmetics, whatever it might be. Maybe they went to my school, they didn't go to my school. That doesn't matter to me. And again, at the end of the day, you want to look at, how do I build my network? It's really, really important. So again, it's kind of like, what was it? That's seven degrees of separation, or there's always a connection. And that's really important for you to set the foundation now. Because I will tell you, I talk to hiring leaders and recruiters all the time. They get emails all the time from students wanting a job. It's not the way to go about job seeking. The way to go about job seeking is connecting with people first, build that connection, lay the foundation so that when a role pops up, you're already connected to that person. So you're not asking to be connected because you want a job. You're already connected. Or maybe it's a job, if they're in marketing and you see a job posted in the lab, it's still already a connection for you. So how to find those connections? The key word search is really important. If you want to find who should I be connecting to. Again, these are some examples. I use Rutgers, but put your own undergraduate program or graduate program in there, okay? I'm not favoring in any way, but I doubled. This is so funny. I'll show you my fourth bullet, just ignore it. So think about, we call it a concentration, but it's your major and your academic institution. And you do a keyword search to see who pops up, right? And do the end. I always cap it. I don't know if that really matters. The company you're interested in and your university. See who works there that you should connect to, that graduated. Alumni love to connect with students and alumni. The company and the university and your major or your concentration or your destination. I should have popped on there. That's a way to, again, pull up people that you should be connecting to that are only going to help you in your network. And I said I repeated it. I don't know why I swapped it and thought that was unique. So no, you don't have to swap it because that doesn't matter if it's in the beginning or the end. I have to tweak that. And also, and I'm sure if you're into beauty care, follow influencers. And that could be the suppliers here, right? I mean, there are so many suppliers here that students don't realize are amazing employers, right? Whether you want to work for, I'm not going to name any of the big brands, but you want to work at the big brands or these incredible suppliers, both are wonderful opportunities and get so much respect in industry. And you can work for a supplier and then go to one of the big, branded companies as well, or a startup. So don't forget about them as well. So follow companies. They like to see who follows them. Follow people in companies that are maybe running fragrance care or running, product development in an area, skincare, makeup, or whatever it might be, cosmetics, and build on those follower contacts. Again, looking and seeing who they're connected to. It really is, it sounds like a lot of work, and it is, but it's a job to get a job, right? And why not lay the foundation early and as you go? This is a really important piece, and I say this to our students all the time. Find a way to add value and engage. Join your chapter of the SEC. Really, really important. It really is. And do for others, right? So how do you do for others? What does that mean, Abby? Well, you can do a testimonial for a classmate. You worked on a project together. I think it's really important to think about, how can I add value? Not because I'm doing it to get back. I just think it's good. It's just really good values there where you're giving back. Yes, the results are that it's going to come back and help you as well, but that's not why we do it. It just feels great to do for others. So testimonials. Here's another piece, which I was going to talk about in the prior slide, but I put it here. Join LinkedIn groups. Your school has LinkedIn groups, subgroups. I know there's a lot of associations that have LinkedIn groups. There are Cosmetic Chemists LinkedIn groups. Be in those LinkedIn groups. Really important. And you'll get accepted. And it's an opportunity for you to reach out because those people are now your connections. People don't think about that. Once you're in that group, you can reach out to the folks that are in there. So think about that. Another is to like and share posts. It is different. I think this is my next bullet. Liking other people's posts, if they're a great speaker, professional, and sharing it's great to have your own posts, absolutely. But doing the liking, the sharing brings attention, but also people start looking at your profile to see, oh, this person's liked mine several times. I want to see who this is. Right. Be willing to introduce others because there is that ability on LinkedIn so that you have your connection isn't one of your colleagues or one of your classmates' connections. So be willing to introduce others. And share the updates, as I said. Share the updates versus always publishing. I mean, absolutely publish, but remember sharing other people's is a really great way of giving back. So I always like to end this piece with Martin Luther King. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Again, it is a good foundation to support you, but that's not the reason we do for others, right? So again, this is just recapping, 40% more visibility and click through when you have a photo. Your headline, more searchable for recruiters and hiring leaders. Put seeking whatever jobs you're looking for in your experience piece, in your summary piece, not in the experience piece, in the summary piece. You think of it as your destination, who you want to be known for, right? And your destination. The summary can provide more details about your experience, skills, knowledge, right? So that's really important. And your coursework that aligns your soft skills, technical skills. The experience piece, right, needs to be well written, include, in our case, externships or internships, co-ops, class projects, all really valuable. The connections and networking as well. The key to landing your next role is really building that network. Again, it lays that foundation. I repeat that quite a bit. And always think about adding value, right? How can I give back to others, right? It can't always just be about us, right? So yeah, I'm always like throwing this out here. For Rutgers students, again, I kept this in. It is free LinkedIn Learning, but your institution may also provide LinkedIn Learning for upskilling. There's a great Jody Glickman. I love Jody Glickman. I've met her. She talks about leading with your destination. And when you're interviewing, so it's not through the LinkedIn profile, but it has that overtone. You don't always have to talk about what you've done in the past. Start off during your interviews, even in your summary, with your destination. Really, really much stronger than going, let me take you all the way back to my undergrad or even high school. Although sometimes I do have encourage students to say, I've always loved watching my mother put on her makeup every morning. It just stayed with me my whole life. So I followed a career in chemistry or biology. That's okay to start that way, but lead with your destination. So I'm going to ask you, this is what I do for any presentation, is a call to action. You always want to have something that you're going to do differently, right? I call it a start, stop, continue. So what is one thing that you will commit to doing? Again, this is regarding networking and your LinkedIn profile that you haven't tried. Try something new. I want you mentally to think, okay, I'm going to change my photo or I'm going to change my summary. Whatever it is. Oh my gosh, is that me? I apologize. That's my daughter calling. What is one thing that you can commit to starting today that you haven't tried, right? What is one thing that you're willing to stop doing because it's probably not working and we saw some of the stats that are telling you it's not effective. And the last thing is important. What is one thing that you'll commit to continuing doing? Because we all do some things that are going well and it's just reinforced what you learned today. So that's the end of my presentation. I hope you learned something from it and you'll start working to redesign or tweak your LinkedIn profile and start that networking strategy and plan in place. If you did want to reach out to me, my email is abbe.rosenthal@rutgers.edu, but certainly I'm open to any questions, and I'll be walking around and happy to say hi to you. But thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.